Welcome to all the new subscribers, and welcome back to all of my old friends. I wanted to answer some of the most frequently asked questions about dumpster diving because I have had a lot of new viewers lately to some of the dumpster diving videos, and a lot of the same questions are being asked over and over and over again. Here are some of the answers. A lot of people ask why the grocery stores don't donate all of that food to homeless shelters or food pantries or soup kitchens rather than throwing it all into the dumpsters. I don't know. My guess is that it would have to do with logistics and liability. I know that some stores do donate. Near me, I know that the Trader Joe's donates. I also have this really amazing Amish market near me, and I know that they donate all their leftovers to the Trenton Soup Kitchen. So yes, some stores donate, some do not. I believe for those that just throw the food away, it's a tax write-off. Now, in the same breath that people are asking why the stores don't donate to the needy, people are also talking about how gross and awful and disgusting we are for eating food out of a dumpster. So at the same time, you think we're super gross because the food is spoiled, and there must be a reason it's in the dumpster in the first place. It must have gone bad or be past its expiration date. You still want that same food to be given to the needy. I'm going to assume that the reason it's being thrown away is the same reason it's not being given to the needy, which again, I think is going to come down to the stores feeling that they're going to be liable if anybody gets sick. So let's say a store has a policy that they have to get the frozen foods unloaded and into a freezer within a certain amount of time, which I assume they have such a policy. And let's say they don't get the items into the freezers quickly enough. I guess they would feel like they can't ensure the safety of the food if it's been out of the freezers for a certain amount of time. So by the same token that they can't sell it, they can't donate it. You also have the issue of returned food items to the store. If you go and buy a ham and then you go home and your wife says, "I told you I want a chicken, not a ham, take that back." You take back your big old ham and it's all wrapped in plastic and you haven't done anything to it and you haven't opened it and you return it, but they can't resell that. They don't know what you've been up to with that ham. So that ham's going right in the dumpster. And that's where we come in. With some of the frozen foods that we get out of the dumpster, people ask, was it still frozen? If it thawed out, you're going to kill yourselves by poisoning and bacteria and germs and all the yuckiness. And I just wonder how fast everybody thinks that food goes bad once it's out of the freezer. If you take something out of the freezer and it's thawing on your counter, and you walk away and forget about it for a little while, do you come back and throw it out? Do you really think it's gone bad that fast? I'm not talking about it sitting in a dumpster. I'm just talking about it being unfrozen. I don't think things spoil that quickly. I've said before, and I'll say it again now, we've never gotten sick from dumpster food at all. Not even a tummy ache, not a burp, nothing. I have gotten food poisoning in my life. I've gotten food poisoning at least 3 times from restaurants. Restaurants that supposedly should know how to keep their food safe and hygienic, but never gotten food poisoning from dumpster food, interestingly enough. Also, when you're dumpster diving for food, you use your common sense. When there is spilled pasta sauce all over the place, I don't scrape that up and put it back in the jar and take it home. We don't take food that's touching the edges of the dumpster and right there touching the metal. This stuff is wrapped up. Or you have a case of produce, a case of bananas, and you can go home and wash the bananas off before you peel them. You can also tell when certain things are spoiling because you smell them and you look at them and then you taste them before you give them to your kids. I think things just don't go bad that quickly. And keep in mind also, we live in the Northeast. It's cold here. We are in primo dumpster diving season right now because it's really, really cold out. In the summer, it's a little bit different. And it's not as pleasant dumpster diving in the summer because the dumpsters actually smell pretty bad in the summer. But in the cold weather, we're good to go. Do we encounter bugs, mice, and rats? No, we do not. It's kind of surprising, but no to all of those. We really haven't had a bug issue. We've never encountered rats or mice in the dumpsters, which is kind of weird because you'd expect that, but no, we just never have. There was the turkey vulture incident. There was a raccoon family. And the other day, Frugal Daddy ran into a squirrel who just popped right up out of that dumpster and said, "Hey, that squirrel nearly scared Frugal Daddy half to death, bless his little soul." But other than those, no bugs, no vermin, no problems on that front at all. Maybe because the food's just not in the dumpsters that long before they come and haul it away. I don't know. What do we do with all the food? Well, I eat it all. I usually eat it before we even get home. I just eat it all in the car, driving around. We share the food with other people who understand dumpster food and are okay with it. We have extra freezers. We eat the food. We cook the food. We compost the food. We feed it to the dogs. You also need to remember that this food is all destined for a landfill. So if we rescue anything and let it fulfill its food destiny, it's better than it going in the dump. I made a comment in a previous video about how I would not serve dumpster food to company except for my mother. That was a joke. Because my mother's not allowed to come over. Expiration dates. That's another issue that comes up pretty frequently. People ask, is this stuff expired? What's the expiration date? Oh, don't you know it was thrown away for a reason? It's expired. That's my interpretation of their written comments. First of all, I don't believe in expiration dates, so I don't care. But usually, no. This stuff is thrown away before its expiration dates. From that Walmart dumpster dive we did that's gotten a lot of views and generated a lot of questions, that stuff was all well within its expiration date. I mean, keep in mind, that was a lot of factory produced, processed, packaged food. And the earliest expiration date for any of it, I think, was next April. We actually do read the expiration dates. And on some videos, I've read the expiration dates out loud. But a lot of times, I'll read the expiration dates and then I'll just edit that out because it's actually really boring to look at me reading a box and going, April 2019. Well, there you go. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, but that stuff wasn't expired, except some of the fresh bakery stuff, which wasn't really expired, but it might have been just at around its sell-by date. Honestly, expiration dates are a great gift to dumpster divers because once you're getting near that date, the stores are going to throw the items out because the purchasing public is not going to want those items because they think the expiration dates mean something. So it's good news for dumpster divers. But like I said, if we're not talking yeast or baking powder, I really don't believe in expiration dates. I mean, don't you think these foods have a lot of preservatives in them? What I get really excited about is when we get fresh fruits and vegetables out of the dumpster, which happens pretty regularly. And again, you can generally tell the difference between a nice, firm, juicy tomato and a smashed in, rotten, moldy tomato. You can usually tell the difference. One time we got a case of avocados. We had 60 or 70 avocados, and they were not overly ripe. They weren't rotten. They weren't even ripe yet. They were super duper hard, and I had to ripen them before we could even use them. So for those of you who like dumpster diving and you're into dumpster diving and you dumpster dive, I say rock on and let me know what you got, because I love when people tell me what they got. I'm impressed when people tell me what they got. I love it. I rejoice for you. And if you're not into it and you don't want to do it, then don't do it, because really we don't need the competition. I don't need to show up at my Aldi dumpster and have a line of 5 people ahead of me pulling stuff out. I really don't need that. I think those are the main dumpster diving questions we got. Like, aren't you afraid of food poisoning? No. You're disgusting. Okay, I am. Sorry. Whatever. The whole point is they're throwing away perfectly edible food. The food isn't spoiled yet. It hasn't expired yet. If there's a recall on it, that's another question. Recalls, that's pretty easy to look up. And generally we hear about the recalls, like the big romaine lettuce recall. And if I don't know about the recall and I show some food we found, people are always telling me. If I didn't already know about it, people make sure to let me know, hey, there was a recall on turtle soup. You really shouldn't be eating that. And then we don't. I think that covers most of the frequently asked questions. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Look, I found her in a dumpster. Isn't she good? She's a good one. Yeah.
She didn't find me in the dumpster. She found me in her tummy.